right, New York Giants fans, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. I thought we would do something fun today, or maybe I think it's fun, but I got a lot of subscribers sending me emails asking me about certain players and whether we should cut them, what we should do with them, what their longevity with the team was going to be, if they have a future with the team. So I decided to take 4 players. Maybe we'll do this once every 2 weeks. And we're going to decide if these players should be kept, cut, or traded. And the first player we're going to look at is going to be Kevin Zeitler. Oh, Kevin, the guard that came over from the Cleveland trade. You know what? He has pretty much been our best offensive lineman over the last 2 seasons. Has he been, the best of the league in the league? No, but on the Giants line, which has been a pretty porous line, he has been a beacon of hope. The only problem is right now he's carrying a $14.5 million cap hit. And if we release him, we will actually save $12 million. The question should be for the New York Giants, is Kevin Zeitler worth $14.5 million? Does his leadership, does his consistency, does his presence is that worth $14.5 million? Because honestly, he's probably about an average guard. He is going to be 31 years old in sometime in March. So he's on the downslope in his career. And honestly, I know there's not many viable options on the roster, and potentially we could be opening up that entire side because we might be moving on from Cam Fleming, thank God, but that'll be another video. But you know what? I am going to have to say that we need to cut Kevin Zeitler. And it's more for his age and his salary and what his actual ability is. I am not paying a 31-year-old guard who is average at best $14.5 million when I could save $12 million and tank that and put that into my cap space for 2021. The next player that we are going to take a look at is everyone's favorite, Evan Engram. Oh, Evan, the enigma wrapped in a riddle. He's just a maddening talent. You see the talent, you see the ability, but for some unknown reason, he cannot put it all together. I mean, it's maddening and frustrating. Of course, 2020 was the first time that he had appeared in 16 games, started 14 since, his best season was in 2017, of course, when he was in 15 games and started 11. And, and then in between there, we had the injury. So we finally got what we thought we would get from Evan, which is a full season. And you know what? It didn't pan out. He still had 63 receptions for 654 yards, only 1 touchdown, 10.5 yards a catch. The only problem is his catch percentage was only 57.8. That's not that great for a tight end. I mean, 57.8. He was worse his rookie year, of course, which was 55.7. But he just has this talent, and you see it on plays, and you see it on flashes, and then you see him drop the ball. Now, the issue is, of course, he is in his 5th-year option. This is the make-or-break season for Evan Engram. Will this be the time to trade him? Honestly, I'm going to say no, because his worth is not as high as it should be. If we were going to trade him, we probably should have traded him in the middle of this season because he probably would have had a higher value. When you have this type of talent, I'm going to hold on to him for his 5th-year option. I want to see what he can do before we make that final decision on him, because you know what? He's going to be 27 years old, and like everyone always says, anyone that knows sports or football, a lot of times a player has his best season at 27. So, of course, he's going to have his best season at 27, which is a contract year. So I want to milk all I can out of Evan Engram. Why? Because of the fact that if we are going to have Daniel Jones as our quarterback, we are going to need to, of course, find the talent around him. And Evan, with all of his maddening drops and all of his other issues, still has the talent. Let's just hope that we can start morphing him into a player in his 5th year. So what are we going to do with Evan? Of course, we are going to keep him. And the next player on our list is going to be Nate Solder. Oh, Nate, you opted out for 2020 for obvious reasons, for your health and the health of your young son. But when you signed that contract 3 years ago, you were going to be the left tackle that we had always envisioned, protecting Eli. But you know what? We got you, and we've now been trying to decide, are you a systems player, or are you just all of a sudden have gone downhill in your career? It's been maddening, because were there other circumstances on the line that were causing your poor play? I've said this a million times. I blame Will Hernandez a lot for Nate Solder's difficulties. We saw what happened when he was teamed up with Andrew Thomas, and Andrew Thomas seemed to turn the corner when Will Hernandez went out. So, but the problem is, of course, your salary. Your salary and your age, again, makes it prohibitive for you to keep you on the roster. Now, the problem is, we're going to do a pre-June 1st, or are we going to do the cut after June 1st? Why? Because of the fact that if we do it pre, we'll take the cap hit up front. If we do it post, what's going to happen is we can spread the cap money over 2 years. I'm going to take all that money up front. I'm going to make this one quick and easy, and we are going to cut Nate Solder. Goodbye, Nate. It was fun to have you around when we were, actually, you know what? It wasn't that fun to have you around. I think Eli would beg to differ on that. And the last player on our list is going to be, well, I see these things on Twitter and they just make me cringe. Saquon Barkley. Yes, Saquon has been injured. He has the ACL. He is working hard to get back. He had the sprain last year. These things combined do not make him injury prone. The ankle sprain can be chalked up to bad luck. He had the same type of injury over in Penn State, which he came back from rather quickly. He tried to come back quicker than he should have. But you know what? I'm not blaming that on him. When you tear your ACL in the second game of the season, again, that is just pure bad luck. And people want to trade him already. You want to trade a talent. That's like trading Adrian Peterson if Minnesota traded Adrian Peterson at the prime of his career. I think Saquon is going to come back and have a massive and monster season. Problem is also, you need to worry about the fact that, well, coming off an injury, what's going to be his trade value? You're not going to release him, but what would be his trade value? What would someone give for a damaged running back? Because that's what they're going to say. And you could sit there and go, well, he's got this talent, but the first thing that any other team is going to say, well, he's damaged goods right now. So you do not have a high trade value for him. What we need to focus on is rehabilitation and helping him succeed again. One of the things that we need to focus on also is Daniel Jones with Saquon Barkley. You go back and check the stats. Saquon's best games have always been with Eli Manning. Why? Eli Manning knows how to make the pre-snap adjustments. He knows how to put his running back in the best place to succeed. Daniel Jones is still learning that. Maybe he will maturate in that in year 3. But right now, I think we just need to hold on to Saquon. Yes, he's going into year 4 of his contract. I said this a year and a half ago. Do not even consider signing Saquon in year 3 because of the fact that you have some issues with the fact of your cap, and you may run into the injury bugaboo, which we did. So with that all being said, what are we going to do with Saquon Barkley? We are going to keep him. Why? Because the fact, like I said, he is an all-world talent when healthy. I believe he's going to come back strong. I believe he's going to turn that corner. I believe Daniel Jones is going to find a way to put him into the best position to help the team and the organization, Saquon that is, and I think he's just going to turn that corner. And again, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. And as always, if you could if you could subscribe, if you could ring that play thing, what that means, that'd be awesome.